I have arrived at a new air show after talking with them for weeks and saying, looking out and saying, where's the 500-foot line? And they look at you and you go, you know, you told us about, what do you mean 500-foot line? And you go, oh boy, we're at first base now. We're still at bat. We're not even at first base. And then you go to other shows like this one. They had a couple of issues, but they generally had it right. So there's a big mix. You don't know what you're going to get on a first-time show. The military shows are interesting because they have a constant turnover of people, and Base A will have a continuity book that is that thick, and they know the questions to ask, and they know where they're going to be short, and they have debriefs and hot washes, and et cetera. Then other military bases aren't quite so cognizant of what they need on a follow-on book or a continuity book. That's why we started Air Shows, Air Force Air Show Workshop at ICAS. The continuity was lacking. We were just moving people through so quickly. The air show chairman from one year would be gone and nobody knew where the next year. So we had that issue. On civilian air shows, the biggest thing I see is they don't really believe, or they wish they didn't have to believe, that the support manuals, especially for the team and single ship demos, you really need to follow them. And for some of the civilian teams, you really need to follow those support manuals. For a first show, and especially a water show, the town of Ocean City and Brian Lilly and his crew did very well. We learned a lot about this facility, as you do at any air show. But overall, from the first shows that I've done over the last 20-some-odd years, this one gets 4.0 marks.
You've heard of this thing called WAS, right? The Wide Area Augmentation System lets you fly GPS glide path approaches without relying on ground-based landing aids. No VOR, no ILS, no problem. Fact is, WAS is so smart, it even knows what you're going to say next time you need it. And don't have it on board. Wah! I want my WAS now! I was really crying there for a second.
The beachfront show presents some interesting challenges. You don't have natural show lines. You have to create artificial show lines in the water with buoys that tend to move sometimes. And when you're using a runway that's 32 miles away, as we were for the jets, the timing becomes an issue. Thank goodness for cell phones. We could keep in touch that way. But other than the show lines and generally high rises along the beach, you really don't have many differences beyond that. We did this from the 10th floor of the hotel. That was very interesting. The only thing that we really had a problem with was on the second day we had that fog bank that just hazed us to death. But all in all, it went very well. You know what? I think AirShow Safety is great. I really do. We haven't hurt anybody in the crowd in over 50 years. I don't know how much over 50 years. I think we do an excellent job. We have designed our rules with the FAA and with the ICAS to where we're not going to hurt anybody in the crowd. What we do has a certain element of danger and risk. You cannot get around it. What we think we saw, was that because of the competitiveness of air shows, that perhaps aggressiveness and showmanship had moved in front of safety in the consideration scale. Safety was moved back to the third burner instead of being on the front burner. And we're trying to move safety back to the front burner, where every act has a knock it off, every maneuver has an out. We're working towards that end.
Cirrus Design's Vision SJ50 single-engine personal jet offers exceptional fuel efficiency, flexible seating for up to 7, advanced avionics, and all the Cirrus safety features you expect, including the Cirrus airframe parachute system. With its detailed design, the Cirrus Vision is technologically advanced, yet engineered to be simple to fly, to allow owner pilots more lifestyle pursuits than any other personal aircraft. Learn more about the Vision SJ50 at cirrusdesign.com.
My role in it, I was on the safety committee for several years. I've been the chairman for a couple of years. The ACE committee and the safety committee worked together, and then 7 or 8 months ago, well, right after the convention, the board asked me to chair a committee to be a safety management, to develop a safety management program for ICAS. We've had our first meeting. We've even had some results of that already. And we have identified some areas that we think need to be vetted in the public domain via this kind of discussion through the AirShows magazine and through various convention speakers that we'll have that will help to move safety back into the forefront, or safety considerations into the forefront. We're getting more technologically smart. The radios are better, the wind equipment is better, the pyro is getting better and fancier, and it's all through technology. I think that question leads back to that, did we let the keeping up with the times, you know, push us into moving showmanship in front of safety? You know, the younger people of today, their TV was a whole lot different from your and my TV. And they need action. They want to see risky business. We are keeping up with the times. I think we got a little bit behind the power curve on the risky business. But we also recognized it, and I think the industry reacted very quickly to it. The performers are on board with this safety management program. So far, most of the airshow promoters and sponsors are on board with the safety management program. And I know all the operations type, my colleagues, we all want to see the safety management program be successful.